Welcome to Quick Bio Bits, where we explore the extraordinary lives of remarkable individuals and share intriguing stories for the curious minds, all in under 15 minutes. Today, we're diving into the captivating tale of how humanity got hooked on coffee. It's a journey that spans centuries, continents, and cultures, all revolving around a humble bean that would go on to fuel civilizations and shape the course of history. Our story begins in the lush highlands of Ethiopia, where legend has it that a goat herder named Kaldi first discovered the energizing effects of coffee berries. As the tale goes, Kaldi noticed his goats becoming unusually frisky after eating the red berries from a certain tree. Intrigued, he tried the berries himself and experienced a surge of energy. Excited by his discovery, Kaldi shared the berries with local monks, who found that the fruit helped them stay awake during long hours of prayer. While this legend is charming, the true origins of coffee consumption are shrouded in mystery. What we do know is that by the 15th century, coffee was being cultivated in Yemen's mountainous regions. The Yemeni people were the first to brew coffee as a hot drink, similar to how we enjoy it today. They called it kahwa, which originally referred to wine but later became the term for coffee. From Yemen, coffee began its journey across the world. It spread to Egypt and North Africa, and by the 16th century, it had reached the rest of the Middle East, Persia, and Turkey. Coffee houses, known as café khana, began to spring up in cities across the region. These establishments quickly became centers of social activity and intellectual discourse, earning them the nickname schools of the wise. The popularity of coffee in the Islamic world cannot be overstated. It became an integral part of religious and social life, with some even calling it the wine of Islam. The stimulating effects of coffee were particularly appreciated during Ramadan, helping worshippers stay awake during night prayers. As trade routes expanded, coffee made its way to Europe in the 17th century. Initially met with suspicion and fear, it was even called the bitter invention of Satan by some clergymen in Venice. However, after Pope Clement VIII tasted the beverage and gave it his blessing, coffee's popularity in Europe skyrocketed. Coffee houses soon became fixtures in major European cities, mirroring their Middle Eastern counterparts as hubs of social and intellectual life. In England, these establishments were dubbed penny universities because for the price of a cup of coffee, one could engage in stimulating conversation and gain a wealth of knowledge. The coffee house culture in Europe played a significant role in the Age of Enlightenment. These venues became hotbeds of political discussion, scientific debate, and artistic expression. In fact, many great ideas and movements of the time were born in coffee houses. Lloyd's of London, for instance, began as a coffee house where merchants and maritime insurance agents gathered. As European nations established colonies around the world, they sought to break the Arab world's monopoly on coffee production. The Dutch were the first to successfully cultivate coffee outside of the Middle East and North Africa, establishing plantations in their colonies, particularly in Java and other parts of Indonesia. The French soon followed suit, introducing coffee to their Caribbean colonies. A young naval officer named Gabriel de Clieu is credited with bringing coffee seedlings to Martinique in 1720. Despite a treacherous journey and limited water supplies, de Clieu managed to keep one plant alive. From this single plant, it's said that most of the coffee cultivated in the Caribbean, South and Central America originated. Coffee's journey to the Americas would have a profound impact on global production and consumption. Brazil, which began cultivating coffee in the early 18th century, would go on to become the world's largest coffee producer, a title it still holds today. In North America, coffee gained popularity in the wake of the Boston Tea Party of 1773. Drinking coffee instead of tea became an act of patriotism, solidifying its place in American culture. The Civil War further boosted coffee consumption, as soldiers relied on it for energy and comfort during long campaigns. The 19th and 20th centuries saw coffee become a global commodity, with production and consumption reaching unprecedented levels. The Industrial Revolution brought new technologies that revolutionized coffee processing and brewing. Innovations like the espresso machine invented in Italy in 1901 and the first automatic drip coffee maker introduced in the 1970s changed the way people consume coffee. Coffee's influence extended beyond the cup, shaping economies, politics, and social structures around the world. In many countries, particularly in Latin America and Africa, coffee became a crucial export crop, often accounting for a significant portion of national income. This economic importance sometimes led to political instability and social unrest, as seen in the coffee republics of Central America. The 20th century also saw the rise of big coffee brands and chains. Companies like Maxwell House and Folgers became household names in the United States, while the global expansion of chains like Starbucks in the late 20th and early 21st centuries brought specialty coffee drinks to the masses. In recent decades, there's been a growing awareness of the social and environmental impacts of coffee production. This has led to the rise of fair trade and sustainable coffee initiatives, aiming to ensure better conditions for coffee farmers and more environmentally friendly cultivation practices. The coffee industry has also seen a third-wave movement focusing on high-quality artisanal coffee. This trend has brought attention to factors like bean origin, roasting techniques, and brewing methods, elevating coffee to a level of connoisseurship similar to wine. Today, coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world after oil. It's estimated that over 25 billion cups of coffee are consumed globally every day. The industry employs millions of people worldwide, from farmers and processors to baristas and cafe owners. Coffee has become deeply ingrained in cultures around the world, each with its own unique traditions and preparation methods. In Italy, espresso is a way of life, often consumed standing at a bar. In Turkey, coffee is brewed in a special pot called a kesvi and served with grounds in the cup. In Ethiopia, where our story began, coffee is often part of an elaborate ceremony that can last for hours. The science behind coffee's appeal is fascinating. Its primary active ingredient, caffeine, is the world's most widely consumed psychoactive substance. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors in our brains, preventing drowsiness and increasing alertness. This effect, combined with coffee's rich flavor profile and the social rituals surrounding its consumption, helps explain humanity's enduring love affair with this beverage. But coffee is more than just a stimulant. Recent research has suggested that moderate coffee consumption may have various health benefits, including reduced risk of type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's disease, and certain types of cancer. Of course, like any substance, it should be consumed in moderation, as excessive intake can lead to negative effects. As we look to the future, the coffee industry faces significant challenges, particularly from climate change. Rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns threaten traditional coffee-growing regions, potentially altering the global coffee landscape in the coming decades. Scientists and farmers are working on developing more resilient coffee varieties and sustainable farming practices to ensure the future of this beloved crop. Innovation continues in the world of coffee. From new brewing methods like cold brew and nitro coffee to the integration of artificial intelligence in roasting and brewing processes, the industry keeps evolving. There's even research into lab-grown coffee, aiming to produce the beverage without the need for extensive agriculture. The story of how humanity got hooked on coffee is a testament to the power of a simple bean to shape history, culture, and daily life around the globe. From its mysterious origins in the Ethiopian highlands to its current status as a global cultural and economic force, coffee has been a constant companion to human civilization for centuries. As we sip our daily brew, it's worth reflecting on the long journey that brought that cup to our hands. It's a story of exploration, innovation, and cultural exchange, fueled by our seemingly insatiable appetite for this complex and captivating beverage. So the next time you enjoy a cup of coffee, remember that you're not just drinking a beverage, you're partaking in a ritual that connects you to millions of people across time and space. You're part of a global community united by our shared love for this extraordinary elixir. In many ways, the story of coffee is the story of us. Our curiosity, our ingenuity, our desire for connection, and our constant search for that perfect pick-me-up. As long as there are people seeking comfort, energy, and inspiration, it seems certain that coffee will continue to play a central role in our lives and our societies. From the first wild coffee berries discovered by a curious goat herder to the carefully crafted artisanal brews of today, coffee has come a long way. And yet, in many ways, its essence remains the same, a simple pleasure that brings people together, stimulates our minds, and helps us face each new day with a little more pep in our step. As we conclude our journey through the history of humanity's relationship with coffee, it's clear that this is a story without an ending. Each day, with each cup poured, the tale continues to unfold. Who knows what new chapters will be written in the coming years and decades? One thing is certain: as long as there's coffee, there will be people eager to drink it, discuss it, and discover new ways to enjoy it. Thanks for joining us on this chapter. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.